Do you and Janique think Japan is a good place for a black family to spend the rest of their lives?
Now for the big announcement. So this video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. So in addition to answering your questions in the Q&A, my wife is going to pop in just now, right? We're going to be trying these treats. So Tokyo Treat is a monthly Japanese snack subscription box where you'll get up to 20 of the latest, most exclusive limited edition and seasonal flavored Japanese snacks that are only available in Japan for a limited time. Now, Sakurako is more traditional. Sakurako is a monthly Japanese subscription box where you will receive 20 traditional and authentic artisan Japanese snacks, right? Items including Japanese teas and one special Japanese tableware with your box every single month. They have a mission, which is to share Japanese culture to the world through the medium of snacking. Every month, Tokyo Treat and Sakurako come with a different theme, right? To keep things exciting and fresh. Now time for the video. This is my lovely wife here,
Janique.
right? And my daughter Tiffany is on the other side of the camera. So we're a family of three. We moved to Tokyo, Japan back in 2016. That's like 6 years this summer,
Yeah.
right? So we've been here for a little bit. All right, so first question. So recently, right, I did a video with my daughter Tiffany. Well, we asked in that video for you guys to leave some questions in the comment section down below, and you guys did so. We're gonna answer some of those questions in this video, as well as the questions in the community post and on Instagram. So if you're not following us on Instagram, please do so at TheBlackEXJP. Right, so we're gonna jump into the first question.
One of the questions was, seeing that our daughter seems to be fluent in both Japanese and English, they wanted to know how much time does she spend reading and writing in English.
She's a voracious reader.
Yeah, so my answer to that is she reads almost every day. She reads English almost every day, almost every single day. She has a lot of English books and she's always been reading. Before she could read, I was reading to her like daily. Someone else asked, does Tiffany have play dates outside of school? And the answer is yes, she does.
There's one today.
There's one today. So yes, she does have play dates with friends outside of school.
So we're gonna start off with Tokyo Treat. The boxes are pretty cool, I gotta say,
yeah,
right? You guys can see behind my wife was last month's box, which is the Sakura theme box, right? And look at this one, like, you know, like snacking Shibuya. We're gonna open this one right now, right? And the first thing that you see is this, right? Is a culture guide where you can find information on each treat, whatever you're eating. If you don't know what it is, just look inside the culture guide for the picture. I'm like, oh, I'm eating the Kit Kat. And then you have the Kit Kat here, right? So while you crunch, you know, you can read a bunch. So inside this, of course, are 11 mini Kit Kat, right? Kit Kat pudding. I've never tried it before. I'm pretty sure you guys have a burning question in your mind right now.
It smells really sweet.
I sense it. Actually, it does.
It tastes pretty good, actually. As we expect it to.
That's pretty good. I think I
I
have two.
I may have had this one before. I'm not 100% sure.
I've never had it before, but it's good. So the Kit Kat pudding is actually a limited edition caramel cream filled Kit Kat, right? And it's covered with custard pudding flavor and white chocolate. All that I just shared is from inside the culture guide, right? So you can, and the snack guide as well. So you can see all that information inside, so you are well aware of what you are eating. Okay, so the next question is from Hacksign K, who is also a channel member, right, for quite a while. Big up yourself. Ranzo, will you and your family stay in Japan or go back to Canada? I mean, which do you feel is safer? I think Japan is safer than Canada. Canada is pretty safe as well in comparison to other places I've resided. In terms of going back to Canada, time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. I don't know, but in general, yeah, I still think Japan is a lot safer than Canada.
So this box is more traditional Japanese snacks. This is a culture guide for Sakurako, right? Amazing photo right there. So this is a Hokkaido dessert.
Oh, it's soft. Castellas are really like plain sugary sponge cake. So this is like a small version of it, and this one's coated in sugar.
And not too sweet as well.
Yeah, it's not extremely sweet, that's right.
Another question from Instagram. This person asked, does everyone like living in Japan? If no, why don't they like living in Japan? Myself, I like living in Japan. Do you like living in Japan?
I like living in Japan.
Tiffany, do you like living in Japan?
Yes.
Okay, there you have it. Okay, so the next one is, can you live in Japan and not speak the language? If you don't speak any Japanese whatsoever, or you can't read even hiragana or katakana, listen, you're gonna have a hard time.
I think the answer to this question also depends on where in Japan you live. Being in Tokyo, it's a lot easier to get by with very little Japanese. But from what I've heard from people who live in the countryside and other parts of Japan where there's no English signs, no romanized,
Sign language, you gotta be
no romanized, everything is kanji, everything is kanji, hiragana, like there's no translation of anything. Like even here, our buses have English announcements and Japanese announcements. Depending on where you live, may depend on how well you can survive without speaking the language. But it's definitely recommended that you learn Japanese. Even if it's not perfect, you need to know the basics.
Yeah, especially if you can actually study from before you come to Japan. If you have the time, don't wait until you come, right? Because when you come, it's gonna be super challenging, right? So just start where you are right now, and when you come, just continue your studies, because definitely knowing Japanese would and will make your life easier. And now the next one is going to be from the Tokyo treat box. Jay?
Okay, so this treat is called scone. The flavor is 4 cheeses: Gouda, Camembert, mozzarella, and cheddar. It smells really cheesy. Similar.
Can't wait.
Look at the
Consistency.
the shape.
Oh, it smells like it's gonna taste good.
If I'm to compare it to like Cheetos,
Wow.
it's a lot lighter of a flavor, more natural actually, I think.
Oh,
I think with Cheetos is maybe more artificial.
okay, this is one of my favorites so far. Oh,
It's good though.
wow.
How do you keep Tiffany in tune with her blackness? Do you introduce her to other black children in Japan? Let her listen to reggae music or hip hop? Watch black shows and films?
She interacts with black kids sometimes, like when we find them, right, in like at different times, right? Usually not as much, but in this house, this is a very black house, actually. Right, so she has sufficient black influences in the house, so we make sure she consumes content, right? Is that connects her back to her roots and stuff like that.
Yeah, not only that, but I also do try to get books for her, children's books for her that include black characters. So she sees that it's normal to, that representation thing. So there are shows that I allow her to watch that have children, like black character children, TV shows, once in a while. Yeah, so she definitely gets her exposure that way. And of course we teach her about where we're from and show and explain to her, like, yeah, you haven't been to Canada in a long time, but in Canada it looks very different from Japan. And we do keep in touch with all of our family members abroad, so she sees them on a regular and knows that they're all black too. So it's like, So I think for now that's pretty much what we do.
And the next one we're gonna have is from the Sakurako box. It's the cheese cookie, right? So there's actually 2 inside here.
One for me, one for you.
So let's just do that. It should be one whole cookie like this.
The cheesy flavor doesn't come in until like after a while, but actually it's really not that cheesy at all. It's just like a nice cookie. It's like
a hint of cheese. It reminds me slightly of butter cookies.
Okay, next question. Do you and Janique think Japan is a good place for a black family to spend the rest of their life? The question specifically said for the rest of your life. Like, I mean, there's different stages of development and growth that we all go through. So I personally can't say that because I haven't lived a full life, even for myself. So right now where we're at, we're good. We're good here. And I would say that other black families could definitely come here and establish, their family life here. For the all stages of their children's lives, I'm not sure. We haven't reached certain stages of her life yet to know whether or not, okay, maybe we should make a move or not, so I can't say.
And this is another thing as well. Each person has a different experience, right? Each family has a different experience, right? There are, as I keep saying, a common thread that goes through maybe most experiences, but it might depend on where you are, the school, the community, the support system, who you are as people, like your personalities, the people around your family, around your children, right? So there are just so many a plethora of factors that influences someone's experience. And I know it's cliche to say this, but it's a fact of life. So our experience might not be the same as someone else's and vice versa, right? So that's one thing to bear in mind. So the thing is, make the best decision that you can make with the data that you have available. Every human has challenges, every community, every nation has challenges, right? So if you have the option and you can choose one that's better than another, then I say go for it.
So the next snack is Texas corn pottage puffs. Interesting. You like corn soup. You like those packages of corn soup that we get. Both my husband and my daughter like the corn soup. So, I mean, I'll have it once in a while, but I guess this is the corn soup flavor.
Oh,
yeah, it tastes like the corn soup.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Okay, so this person asked this question that's, I think it's very interesting. What is something you guys do in Japan, routine-wise, that makes you feel more at home? It's simple, like just wherever my family is at, that's where home is, right? In terms of, I guess, like food is one thing that reminds you of home, I think.
I guess I would say that, yeah, as you said, I feel like we're home because we're together. So I think within the first year of being in Japan, I felt, like I feel comfortable, like I feel like I'm home just because I have you and I have Tiffany. Yeah, so it's not necessarily a routine thing, but it's just like, just having you guys around me makes me feel like I'm at home.
Okay, so this one is another one from the Sakurako box. It's a traditional Japanese treat. It's called the Azuki Dorayaki, right? So it's from red bean, right? My wife and daughter love this a lot. There's some red bean products that I like, not all. Very, very few actually. So I let Jay sample this one.
Sure. I mean, I've eaten a lot.
Oh, this looks like a
lots of different types of dorayaki.
It looks like a pancake.
Dorayaki is basically like 2 pancakes with the azuki bean inside.
All right.
You can buy these at any grocery store. But not this particular brand, but like any type of dorayaki.
Okay. I could eat this. It's pretty good. Okay, so I found this question interesting. So is it very different or unique living in the Far East when compared to the West? It's very, very different from the West. In terms of culturally speaking, there's a lot of things that you have to get used to that you might not be well acquainted with back where you're from. I think if someone from the West wants a very unique and different experience, you should come to the East, right? It's very different from what you're used to. This actually looks like, this might be my favorite, right? It's cookie and cream, right? I just saw it and I'm like, this thing looks like it's gonna be good. So this one is actually made with fresh Hokkaido cream. Kind of reminds me of ice cream.
Waffle. Oh, it looks soft.
Oh, look at that.
It's not crunchy.
Not very sweet, but it's a good snack. That's not that you could enjoy. No lie.
That's good. Someone else has asked, do we attend church in Japan and what has that experience been like? We have attended churches, different churches in Japan. So we've attended churches that have more foreigners or a mix of Japanese and foreigners, and we've attended churches that are mostly Japanese and we're the rare minority. So it's been good both ways.
Well, the foreigner church is more like a Western church, like a Western experience, right? The Japanese church is a little bit different, but the one that we've been to is not that different. I don't think it's still, I think the word is still like potent. The worship is pretty good. So it's not very different in my estimation. It's not the same, but it's not very far off from what we're used to. The foreign church is pretty much like what we're used to. There is of course English and Japanese, so if you speak either one, you can come and be in the laity, the congregation, and you can actually listen and understand what's going on. So I think it's pretty cool. The thing with Japanese churches is if you don't speak Japanese, it might be a bit challenging for you, but some churches have translators, so they can actually, the earpiece, and they can speak and you can listen and follow the message, right? So there's that option as well. So if you're in Japan and you're looking for a church, it's not that challenging. They have foreign churches, especially in Tokyo and maybe in other major cities across Japan. Hokkaido milk, Danish, right? So.
Ooh. That was a big bite.
Not too sweet. That's pretty cool.
I like it. This would be a nice little snack If I could get
It
this,
is.
there's no jelly filling because
Yeah.
when I think of Danish, I always think of like a
True,
jelly filling, but
it's one of the best Danishes I've tried. It's not overly sweet, very light, very it's very good, very very good. I would recommend that. Recommend it. So they use a special Japanese yeast to produce that one, and it has a long shelf life without any artificial additives. Pretty good stuff. I recommend that one.
oh, that's really good.
It's really good.
That's good to know.
Each box has up to 20 snacks, but these were the 9 that we didn't try on camera. And we're gonna let you guys try it yourself and see what it's like. My favorite from the Sakurako box is the Hokkaido milk Danish. What do you think? What about you? There were quite a few stuff.
Yeah, there were quite a few stuff, but that was pretty good. So I'll just stick with you on that one. Yeah.
Okay, now for the big announcement, like pun intended. I think you guys might have seen it so far, that my wife is with child. And then there are questions that you guys asked. Some of the questions were about healthcare in Japan, so I guess you can touch on that a little bit. Someone asked about like if a child is born in Japan, if the child is automatically Japanese, and no, that's not the case. They don't do that in Japan. So you don't automatically get Japanese citizenship by just being born on the soil, right? So what's the healthcare like?
Healthcare in Japan for family, I think is good. It's relatively okay. In Canada, we're used to like pretty much almost free healthcare for most things. Yeah, except for dental and stuff. And I think also people who have glasses, they might have to pay more. But for children, I will say this about Japan: for children, they're pretty much free, like completely free from birth to like a certain age. Tiffany hasn't reached that age yet where I have to start paying for her, so all dental, if she ever needs to go to the hospital, any prescriptions, even the prescriptions are free. So even if she gets sick and I need to go to the pharmacy and get a prescription from the doctor, I do not pay anything. So that's pretty cool, and I really like that. So that when it comes to kids, at least like that is like a, burden lifted off of the parents' shoulders.
Yeah, and in terms of healthcare, we have insurance, of course, so that is subsidized. So healthcare is subsidized when you want to go to the dentist, to get your teeth cleaned, etc., go to the doctor, etc. You don't have to pay the full-blown bill, right? Because you have your health card. Even though in Canada, it's free, right? So even giving birth, for instance, there's like a big bill that's attached to it.
Yeah.
In Canada, it would have been free.
You do pay for your hospital stay, but it's like nothing compared to what you would pay in Japan.
So far, like, how has that been? Just having like, going to the hospital and getting a checkup and all that stuff versus Canada. How is it?
The hospital checkups have been fine. The only difference is that I pay for them, and they are subsidized because a little bit, but you get like a coupon for every appointment, so it's a little bit cheaper. Some appointments are cheap, and then when you have to do like more tests, like blood tests and all these things, then the price goes up a bit. So that's the unfortunate side, is that like it is more expensive to have the care throughout the pregnancy, and sometimes they want to see you later on in the pregnancy. They want to see you every 2 weeks, and on the last stretch they want to see you every week. So it's like, okay. So that's the only difference between Canada and here, is that it is pricier. But other than that, like the treatment that I've gotten from my doctor personally has been good. I've heard a lot of horror stories about other foreign moms who've had bad negative experiences. Maybe we can talk about that at a later date. But for me personally, my choice of doctor and the hospital that I'm with, I'm good. They're good to me. I'm happy.
Thank the Lord. Next, we have Tokyo Treat Caramel Popcorn Soda. There we go. It smells like caramel popcorn. It smells like popcorn.
Oh yeah, it does actually. So one thing about Japanese pops that I find they're very acidic. Is this very acidic?
Wow. It tastes just like caramel popcorn. It's such an unusual thing to experience, but it's good. It's interesting.
Actually, yeah. It does taste like caramel popcorn, and it's actually not that acidic.
Yeah, it's interesting. Definitely worth a try.
It's interesting.
Definitely worth a try. Y'all gotta get it, okay? Again, remember to use code BEJ for $5 off your first box, whether it's Tokyo Treat or Sakurako. The link is in the description down below. Because we didn't want to make this video too long, these were the 10 from the Tokyo Treat box that we did not try on camera, but our favorite from this box was, of course, the scone. If you guys want more, content in terms of the journey of, the new baby and the family journey, I'm thinking about putting those videos on the other channel, our Ranzo channel. The link is in the description down below. So if you want more details or insight on the journey of the new baby and the family and stuff like that, go check out that vlog channel and subscribe to it. We're going to be having like a variety of content that is not BEJ related for you guys, so you can check it out down below. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming on and watching this video. Remember to check out Tokyo Treat and Sakurako, link in the description down below and in the pinned comment. Right, use the promo code BEJ for $5 off your first box. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, like it. Remember to subscribe. Bye for now.
Bye bye.